Hey. Hey. What's up? How did you get to my new channel? It's called Controversial Debating, right? Huh? Did you get a link to it, or did you just click on it? Well, it doesn't really matter right now, but so my channel is about debating, controversially. Sure, these topics may have been debated before, but I don't care if anyone cares about my opinion. Eventually, I hope that one of you guys who's smart and capable of accepting either if they're right or wrong, and won't be like, I ain't talking to you, or because they're so strong-willed on their topic. So, let's begin the first debate part of the thing. Okay, hey guys, so, yeah, about that, I'm gonna just do, this is my new channel, whatever. I don't know why I did that, but let's get on to our first subject, and the subject is going to be organic food. So, I don't think this subject is too important anymore. I mean, I think people understand that it's impossible to feed the whole earth off of organic food. Because, yeah, it's just, organic food, they claim, is healthier. It tastes better. Some people say it's easy to grow. It's, just better for the environment. It's better for everyone. It's better for the ecosystem, let's say. Some of that may be true, and some of that is definitely wrong. Okay, so, in order to explain this, we have to go back to a couple hundred years. During the time, the early 1700s. At that time, Earth had a population of, roughly about 1 billion to, a little bit more. And people were, like, going crazy. They're like, oh my god, we have too many people. We need a great war. We need a war to kill all these people because we can't feed them. We need a starvation. We need disease to wipe these people out so that people who are stronger can survive. And that was before the agricultural revolution. Once the agricultural revolution hit, you saw the equilibrium of how humans could survive based on, Okay, let's put this in terms of easier terms. Ready? Let's say you have a fox in Canada. A fox in Canada eats rabbits, in order to survive. The rabbits are the prey. Yeah. They're preyed on. So the foxes eat the rabbits eat grass. The rabbits do not eat foxes. So, in order for foxes' population to go up, there needs to be an equal amount of more rabbits than foxes, basically, because it takes more rabbits to get the energy and nutrition a fox needs, because a fox is a bigger animal and is a meat eater, while a rabbit is a veggie eater. So I could go into more detail on that, but not right now. So, in order for the fox's population to rise, the rabbit's population has to rise. But that can't happen because, let's say you have a huge population at the start of rabbits. So, gradually over the years, the fox population is going to rise because, couples, actually there's no really couples in the world. Well, sure there is. But, mates produce off of, good health. Like, if they are healthy and they have a healthy surrounding, they will produce offspring. They will want to produce offspring. So, their population will rise until the population of the rabbits declines to the point where the foxes are above the rabbits, and then the foxes, since they can't feed for themselves and there's not enough rabbits for each of them, their population will decline. So then once the foxes' population is low, relatively to the point where it was like a couple years back, the rabbit's population will start increasing, because there's less foxes to hunt the rabbits, so there's more rabbits now. So then the rabbits decline because the foxes eat them now, and it just keeps going. And that's called an equilibrium, because the foxes balance out the rabbits balance out the foxes. So every organism on Earth, from what I know, has an equilibrium based on how high their population can really be. Humans had a population, we were about to hit the equilibrium to the point in which we couldn't feed ourselves before the agricultural revolution. So we were about to hit that. But then as soon as we went into the agricultural revolution and we were able to produce so much food and so much, crops in so little amount of time, we could feed a lot of people. So then the population increased. So, at first, if you see back before the agricultural revolution, you see that people are like, oh my God, we're just going to destroy ourselves because of our population is too high. But then as soon as you see after the agricultural revolution, you're like, whoa, we're going to live because we have so much food. So that's what happened. Is now, as a society today, since we have, I'm going to say the developed countries, have enough food for most of the population. Sure, there's kids starving everywhere, especially in Africa, but, there's some kids starving in developed countries too. But, the general population has enough to survive. I mean, sure, we have basically 7 billion people on this earth. So right now, we do not know our equilibrium, and some people say that the equilibrium is infinite now because we can produce a lot of food for a lot of people. So the problem with switching to organic foods is that organic foods have no pesticides in them. You can't use pesticides, and you can't use genetically modified seeds to increase the crop yield not organic foods use, because that's not organic to people. So without pesticides, let's say 20% of your crops are destroyed by bugs, and so that's 20% less that you can get to feed a population. So that's not good. And the fact is that also feeding, organic food it's time consuming. You might not even have enough supplies to be able to grow that everything, because they don't, use fertilizer from a plant. They use fertilizer from a cow. So to be able to have enough fertilizer for enough food to plants would be astronomically too big for the earth, because cows need a lot of land, a serious ton of land, to even be able to eat and survive. So, and let's face this, organic food, even the cow has to be organic. You can't feed them scraps or cow meat. You have to feed them the grass to be organic. And I say organic because who cares? It's just So if you can't feed cows genetically altered food, and you can't feed yourself genetically altered food, they're expecting us to go back to this way where everything seems so beautiful. They want to be like they're back in the old days when everyone was so simpler at the times. Yeah, maybe it was simpler, but you always had to worry about feeding your family. You know, when you were a self-sufficient farmer, all you had to worry was about, oh, is my family going to have enough to eat? If they don't, maybe I should have to steal from my neighbor next door. What if, you know? So all they really had to worry about is feeding their family. And maybe the occasional revolutions. And all those other disasters like the bubonic plague, you know, just cholera, just like, you know, they had to worry a lot about. So that's why whenever someone asks me what time period would you want to go back to, I always say a second from now, because let's face it, you can't go any better than this. The fact is, if you go any lower, life is going to be harder. If you go back in the 18th century, life's going to be harder. But if you stay a second back, you know, you're going to basically live the same life, but you're just going to get everything a second later. So to say that you could have enough fertilizer, sure, you could get cat fertilizer, you could start getting like other fertilizer, but primarily cows go a lot, they eat a lot, so they have to go a lot. So, you know, there's a lot of cows because we eat a lot of cows. So you think that would be, you know, appropriate. But the problem with grass animals is that they have to eat a lot. And not just like 2 things, but, you know, they have to eat basically a lot. So the fact is, we're going to have to quarantine off, you know, a certain amount of space for, let's say, a million cows to start eating. So that also begs the question, is what place is it fit enough for a cow to eat? Like, what grass do they like? Now, I don't know what grass they like to eat, but I think it's only like 2 certain types of grass. And I think it's grown mostly in the U.S. So, you know, the U.S. would become like a fertilizing industrial empire. And since there's little space for lots of places to grow their crops, is that the U.S. also has a lot of space that they can grow their crops. That's why the U.S. produces a lot of the world's food, is because the Great Plains is a big area, and that's basically all able to be fertilized. And, you know, you could grow a lot of plants there. Now, the problem with now, what you have to think and put into consideration is that organic crops do not grow as well as genetically modified seeds that are modified to actually survive the harsh, like, winds, the harshness of the environment. So you'll basically do a lot of work for little crop yield, rather than do a lot of work but still get a higher crop yield. So I'm running out of time here, but I'm just gonna say that organicism, or whatever you would like to call it, organicness, is like believing in ghosts. You know, you believe because you like the feeling that you're helping your body, you're helping the earth, but really you're doing little of it, and you're just getting scammed out of your money by eating organic foods. That's all that's really happening to you. You're not helping the earth. You're not helping, you know, the population. You're not helping anything. But you are burning a hole in your wallet. So thanks for watching, guys. If you disagree with me, go ahead and, you know, put in the comments. I would love to read your comments. I would actually reply. I'll reply to everything. You can disagree with my theology, because that's the best part about debating, is that you're never fully right. And, you know, that's the best part about it, is learning new things, not holding on to your thing, but learning about other people's opinions and learning about how you're wrong, how your belief system is wrong, and how you can change it to be right. And that's the best part about it, and that's what I love about it the most. So hope you guys liked the first episode. Like, subscribe, comment, and please subscribe to my other channel. the Limniks. I'll put a link in the description. Thanks.